This is the movie I call Crater Bottom. This is the Richland Creek floodplain. These creeks and rivers follow the edge of the crater rim because it's the lowest point. Big meteors tend to have a central uplift because they hit the earth so hard it rebounds. Makes a dome in the center. So the Elk River and Richland Creek define the inner rim of the crater. Now, at the top of the crater, I found a new type of rock that I had to name. So I named it Fusshalite because it was right next to the Fusshalite Road in Fusshala, in the Fusshala Road. But right here in the other diagonal side of the crater, I just found the same thing again. So the crater is pretty much shocked in the extreme from end to end. This is Fusshalite. See, this is the coral on top, but all the internal part of it has been turned into an agate. It's a shock fossil agate. Only crater in the world that has it that I'm aware of. Nice big chunk. Now the Fusshalite on this side is not as pretty as on the other side. I don't know which got shocked harder. I kind of think this might have it. It can tend to be brittle and break apart. Now my granddad Pop, he had the most curious stuff in his trunk. We as kids, you know, gather around his trunk and there's just no telling what might come out of there. I think my trunk's the same way. We got beach balls. Now these beach balls illustrate a principle that goes along with this meteor. Imagine this being Earth. Since this is the only meteor crater in the world that has arc faults instead of circular faults, it's easy to see that it was a tangential impact, extremely tangential, because you know, some of the other craters are oval, but they don't have arc faults. So the explanation could be that you had a planet hit a planet and glance off, and then maybe it's one of the planets that's revolving around our solar system today. We'll call it Venus. Another possibility is it was smaller and glanced off. So comes in, here we are in Tennessee, you know, hits and glances off, and it could have been irregularly shaped, you know, like having a dragging piece on it that exploded as it dragged, as if it were even a smaller meteor that all of it exploded, but it was only a piece of a large meteor that it impacted in right here and exploded. We're outside of Elkton, Tennessee right here. And then the other possibility would be that all of the meteor impacted and exploded, in which case it'd be an object about this size right here hitting the Earth, and here's your crater, you know, something like this size, and it all exploded. In diagrams that typically show meteors being spheres, but of course they're not. They probably look like something like this. And you got iron spread all over, so obviously that iron came from the meteor. It's a top level of iron, not anything from the Earth's center. And this whole section of lower middle Tennessee is just covered in iron. So the size of these impactors is being miscalculated in all the diagrams. You see they're much bigger because the amount of iron that you see in evidence would indicate that it was that iron came from the meteor, and that was a huge amount of iron to cover so much area. Even turned the soil red. It was once yellow, but it is red from the iron. Hence the name Redstone Arsenal in Madison County.